Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Now, in this one, I'm going to be going through what is a QMK raw HID router, how to use it, and how to set it up. So, as you can see here, I have it running. And what we have here is we have a QMK keyboard here, a QMK macro pad here, a QMK trackball. So this is the Plupi Adept trackball, and another QMK trackball here as well. So what the plan for this is, because this trackball basically has no buttons, it's only a ball and nothing else, and we want to be able to activate scrolling using this trackball, and also we want to be able to change, like, the DPI settings and stuff. So to do that, we're going to be using the keyboard. So inside QMK, I have defined a custom layer that will send commands from here to the PC and then to this trackball. So for example, we head over to this page. We want to scroll this page. Well, can't really do that without buttons, but if I press a special button here, as you can see, now I can scroll. So whenever I move the mouse down, it's actually scrolling the page instead of moving the cursor. And if I were to lift it up, you can see that it's now, moving the mouse cursor, put it down, scrolling, and this is all being sent through the PC basically. You can see some commands here. Now you can also increase the DPI. So press it a few times, and now it goes faster. I can reset it to default and stuff like that. And if I were to go here, you can actually see the logs that I'm sending. So this is basically what QMK HID router does. So now that you know what it does, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set it up and how to actually configure it for your own QMK device, basically. And to demonstrate this, I'll be using the Plupi Adept, because at the moment that isn't configured to use. That isn't configured to use this raw HID stuff. But yeah, this is what we'll be configuring it with, so that, because the rest of my stuff is kind of custom, whereas this is more mainstream, so it'll kind of, be more relatable, I suppose. So, to begin, what you'll need is you'll actually need to have so before we begin, I should mention that all the instructions for this are in my repo. So for Linux and Macos, it's fairly easy to install it, so I'm not going to show you in this video. I'll be showing you how to do it on Windows, because Windows, quite frankly, is the hardest. But yeah, on Linux, you just make sure you have this installed and you compile this. On Macos, pretty much the same thing, and then you just compile and run it. But on Windows, we need to do a bit more stuff. So first of all, you are going to have QMK running, or set up at least. So the easiest way to do that is just to download QMK MSYS. So if you type in QMK for Windows, this is the first link that comes up. Then what you want to do is just press latest installer and download this massive exe. Now, this is the reason why this exe is massive is, oh yeah, I actually have it downloaded already, is because it includes like all the dependencies and stuff like that. So since I already have it, I'm just gonna run it. Let's see, okay, here it is. So yeah, after you double click on it, you'll get, your usual Windows pop-up crap. Now it's going to take up 5 gigabytes of space, so make sure you have enough. And I'm going to put it into my software here. Yeah. And then next. Yeah, so you want to do install drivers, and you want to add QMK MSys profile to Windows Terminal. This will just make it, you know, a lot easier to actually deal with this thing. So click on next, and then click on install, and wait until this installs. This will take a while. Now, while this is installing, we actually need to grab QMK firmware itself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my own firmware. So if I were to go into my repository here, so it'll be Artium SU and then QMK firmware. So you can use my one as well. I usually keep it fairly up to date with the latest QMK. As you can see, it's only 4 commits behind. So yeah, I haven't updated in like a couple of days, I suppose. But yeah, you could get this one, and for the branch, we'll be using the RDMSU Plupi Adept. So if I were to go into the keyboards and search for Plupi Adept, and there it is. Yeah, so this is the kind of custom key map I made for the Plupi. And yeah, we'll just be reusing that in this video. And you can use it too if you have a Plupi as well, or pretty much anything else. It's kind of like, you know, standardized kind of thing. So for the actual keyboard, so my Dactyl Manuform keyboard, if you go on to here, yeah, so examples of my keyboards configured with this that you can use as reference. So yeah, Plupi will be doing in this video, but we're using this Dactyl Manuform as the actual keyboard. So if we were to go into here, we can go into key maps, and there'll be Linux and Mac. And then here's like all the kind of files that you might need. All right, so now that we finished downloading that thing, what we need to do is we need to open up the terminal like so. And now if you were to go into the drop down here, wait, it should be there. Hang on, what happened? Oops. Yeah, for some reason it didn't show up. Okay, that's annoying. Yeah, there's meant to be a QMK kind of thing here, because we did select to install it, but yeah, I guess we just need to do it manually. So if we type in QMK, it doesn't know what it is, where it usually should be. So that's a bit annoying. Let's go into profiles. Okay, yeah, this is not great. I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Maybe, yeah, maybe I need to close all of this down. And if I open it again. Okay, so yeah, you need to close all of your terminals down, make sure all of them are closed. Open it again, and now you will get a QMK MSys profile, just, you know, shitty Windows things. But anyway, now that we have QMK here, if we type in QMK, as you can see, stuff comes up, so that's fine. So next thing, what you want to do is you want to go into where you installed your QMK MSys here, and you will see that we have a home. So cd into home, and there should be nothing here when you do ls. And so then what you want to do is you want to clone, not this thing, you want to clone, you want to clone your QMK firmware. So to do that, you just go here, copy this thing, and then do git clone, then paste that URL in. And this might take a while since this is quite big. So I'll just pause the video while it's doing that. All right, so now that's done, we need to cd into QMK firmware. And then we want to check out this specific branch. So you can do git checkout msu, or loopy adept, like so. And now what you can do is you can just check if the default thing compiles by running we can actually open this whole thing inside Visual Studio Code, like so. I'll just put that over here. And if we go into keyboards and we go into, so it should be somewhere at the top. Or just kind of search for so here it is. So go into the Pluppy Adept keyboard and then here. And so this is the default key map that I have here. And so I am just looking here because I kind of forgot how I use this thing. Okay, I see. Oh, wait. I'm just trying to get this compile command out of here. So I store the compile command on the QMK devices inside a macro so that it's easy to remember what it is. So the compile command is just, this is the wrong one, is just make clean and then QMK flash KB, then Pluppy adept and KM default. So once you run this thing, now it will take a very long time on Windows. Actually, I forgot about this. You also need to do QMK git submodule. So this will download even more stuff. Because QMK uses a bunch of other kind of repositories from GitHub. So you need to download all of these things as well. And so this will just take a while as well. So we'll wait for that to finish here. All right, so once that's finished, what you want to do is you want to run this again. And you just want to make sure that the default profile builds for you before you do anything else, because if it fails to build, there's no point in doing anything else basically. So we'll just wait for this thing to finish. Now, if you're on Linux or Mac OS, this will be already done by now. But on Windows, I think it's like, I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something strange where it is very, very slow. I don't know why. I think it's like running Linux under the hood or something weird, but yeah. Yeah, we'll just wait for this to finish, but it's the exact same steps on macOS and Linux. It's even easier steps, to be honest, because you don't need to download like all this shite. But yeah, it is what it is. So I'll just pause the video until this is done downloading or compiling. All right, so at the end, on Windows, you might see something weird like this, where it comes up in an error. But what you want to do is you want to go up to here and see if we have a UF2 file here. So in this case, we do. We have Pluppy adept default UF2, and then it's going to try to flash it for you, but on Windows, it's going to fail because Windows is a great OS. So what you need to do, explorer.exe, and then we want to open it here. And so you will have a window here pop up. And then you'll see that this thing is here. And what you want to do is you want to drag it over to your device. So in order to make your device go into a bootable mode, it kind of depends on your QMK, but usually there's like a button combo, or you can hold the button while plugging it in. Now on my device, it's actually just a key combo. So as you can see there, RPI2 popped up here. And so what you want to do is you just want to drag or just copy this UF2 file into here and then paste. And then after finished pasting, it's going to unmount itself, and then your Pluppy or your QMK device will have the latest firmware, like so. Well, provided that's using a Raspberry Pi. For other microcontrollers like the Pico, you need to flash it differently, but like I'm sure you guys already know how to do that. So anyway, once we have this part installed, what we need to do is we need to configure our key map to use this QMK HID router. So in this repo, I do have a keyboard example that you will need to follow. So if we go in here, there is a couple of different files here. Now, first file that we're going to do is we're going to go into keyboard.json. And so here you should have a keyboard.json. And you should have a bunch more stuff here. So in this case, I actually have this thing here as well. So yeah, if I were to put, you can actually put like all of your stuff that's in the info, you can put it inside the keyboard.json. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, because QMK transitioned from the info into this thing. So yeah, make sure that there's no duplicates. And let me just get rid of all this. Yeah, and then you can actually just delete the info file there. All right, so now that we have this deleted, what you need to go is you need to go into feed. Yeah, so make sure you have a USB section like we have here, and make sure that these VID and PID, make sure that these are completely unique to all of your QMK devices, because otherwise it won't actually work. Yeah, and then you need to set for the features, set raw to true, like so. So that is this section done. Next, what you want to do is you want to Yeah, so you want to go inside like your key maps here, so wherever your key map is. And oh yeah, before we do that, actually, we need to copy this config.h file. So make sure this is like beside the keyboard. And oh yeah, there's already a config. If you already have a config.h, make sure you copy these into here, like so. If you don't, just create a new config.h. So then after that's done, what you want to do is you want to copy this rules mk folder or file. So you can do that and copy it where your keymap.c is. Now, this will complain about a lot of stuff, but don't worry about that. It's grand. Yeah. So then you create this rules mk and then copy this stuff inside here. Next, what you want to do is you want to, where's this? Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you want to copy these two files into where your key map is as well. So just create a new file, copy that, and then copy raw file, then just paste it in here, like so. And then create a new file, and this is going to be this file here. So copy the name of that. Yeah, create a new file, put that in, and then copy the raw file here, put that in, and then there you go. And yeah, so that is pretty much good to go. So you have all of the stuff that you need. However, now comes where you need to kind of modify for whatever you want, because this is more or less specifically built for my stuff, basically. So yeah, you want to kind of mess around with this a little bit. So here, for example, like minimum DPI and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so inside here, you have the receive. So this is when you receive from another keyboard. And then you also have send. So this is when you want to send to another device. Now you can also send packets to the PC, which is if I were to run the QMK router again. So if I were to increase my DPI, as you can see, there's like an info packet being sent to the PC, telling the PC what the DPI of this mouse is right now. So yeah, that is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's kind of what you would use this thing for. But anyway, if we were to go into here, where we receive, now the first thing you'd want to leave is this, leave it as is. This is just checking if the header is correct and everything like that, because we're using our own kind of a protocol. So if you were to go, yeah, so everything else is kind of done here. If you were to go into here, you can read up on the routing protocol, see what it does. But kind of the easiest way is to actually follow the examples. So if we were to go into, where is it? Yeah, if we were to go into my Dactyl keyboard, so most of the stuff I have here is inside the macros, where if I scroll all the way down, for example, as you can see here, for the DPI up, we're just sending raw HID setting. And the raw HID setting is then used inside the key map. So if I were to go down to my layer trackball, then you can see all of the macros that I have. So I can, you know, hold to drag scroll, DPI up, DPI down, and then I can increase the scrolling as well. So yeah, that's how the keyboard sends it. So it uses the same library here. So it uses the raw HID send. You don't need to touch these things unless you want to, you know, add your own kind of custom stuff. But yeah, you can see there's like set setting, there's a send custom key, and there's send info, which is what you send to the PC so the PC can see your settings. And then, yeah, so mostly you'll be using either raw HID set setting or custom key. So we go back to the macros. You can see here I'm setting a custom key here for the drag scroll. And for the settings, I'm just using the raw HID setting. And that's pretty much what you'll need unless you want to send more kind of data. So anyway, back here, we need to expose some of these functions. So like, for example, manage DPI and stuff like that, that needs to be exposed on our firmware. Because at the moment, even though I based it off this, currently they're not exposed. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to create a kind of like a, see here, yeah, it'll be like shared defines.h, like so, and we'll actually put this split right. And now if I were to go into here, basically need to grab like most of these things. So for example, this thing, oh yeah, we'll need to do this inclusion guard first actually. So something like this. And then it'll be shared defines BP depth, like so, and then endif, and then whatever we put inside here. So what I'm doing right now, this is just specifically a C kind of thing. And so this is just telling the C code where all these variables are. This is called the forward declaring, I think. But yeah, we put those. And yeah, we'll also put all of these. Yeah. So all of these variables that could be used elsewhere, we'll put them. And make sure you have like extern for all of them. Like so. And you don't need, you know, to set them to anything. And then you also need to do the same thing for the function. So if we were to do manage DPI, now for the function, you don't need to put extern. You can just do the function like this and manage scroll. Like so. And yeah, that's it then. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to include this thing here as well. So this will be shared finds h, like so. And you also want to include it in here too, so that this knows about, oh shit, wrong. Yeah, don't put it in here, put it in here. Yeah, so if we were to put it here. It should be okay with most of these things now. It's just complaining about booleans. Now we do have scroll invert, which I think, oops, wrong one. Which I think is actually called something else in this key map. Okay, so it's called set scrolling. Okay, so that's fine. We'll just replace it. Oops. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that should cover most of them. Yeah, that should be alright because the rest of the stuff should be alright. But yeah, we'll try it out. So yeah, here we have some special things. So we have PC, which sends the info, and then we have broadcast, which broadcasts a packet to everything in the network. And we also have this trackball here, which is the trackball without my mouse. So as you can see here, we have 9000, we have 9001. This is your VID and PID that you get from here. So your VID and PID. So this will be different for each device, and this is how you send a packet to a specific device. So for example, from my QMK keyboard, if I wanted to send a specific packet to this Ploofy, it will be something like this. So we'll do that. And then for the Ploopy, we would get these things from here. So we will copy that. So it'll be VID first, and then it'll be PID next, like so. And so that's how you would set it up. And then you can use this thing now. So instead, if I wanted to, you know, send some info to the Ploopy, I can, instead of PC, I can do Ploopy, and then that would work. So yeah, that's basically how this sort of thing works if you want to send to a specific device. But currently I'm just broadcasting everything, and yeah, that's fine. And then when you receive, you can also check who it's from. So you can check if it's from PC, if it's from broadcast, if it's from, you know, another QMK device, if it's from, you know, the Dactyl. And then you can, you know, do appropriate settings then. But anyway, this should be working now. So I'll just move this aside here for now. And then let's compile it and see if it works. Now there might be some stuff missing because I kind of rushed through it, but we'll see how it goes. If there is some stuff missing, I'll just pause the video and try and fix them up. Okay, yeah, so there is some stuff missing. Yeah, so I'll just fix this up real quick and then I'll be back. Okay, it seems to be better now. When I was copying over some stuff from the key map, here I basically deleted the const when I pasted it here for some reason. But yeah, I just had to add this const back in and then compiled fine. Yeah. So yeah. Again, it's gonna take a while. So yeah, I'll just pause the video until it is done. Okay, so we ran into another issue here because I forgot to basically check what the heck I was copying. But yeah, we need to get rid of this macros since we don't have. This just means compile more shit, and since the only shit that we have is this C file, we have nothing else, we just have the key map and C. That just means we need to put this thing here so that it compiles it. Otherwise, QMK doesn't know like what you want compiled and what you don't. So it'll be kind of strange if you know, had a bunch of C files here, but you didn't want to compile them. But anyway, that's just how it goes. But yeah, we'll have to sit through this slow S thing again. All right, and so this time we compile it properly, even though it looks like it failed. Remember, make sure that this actually comes up. And so yeah, since it did come up, we are good. Yeah, so we should have a thing here. And we do. So yeah, we have a new one. So you can just refresh it just in case. And then we're gonna copy that. And then I am going to mount my QMK device, paste it here. And now we should be good to go. So I'm just going to run my preset router here for now. So yeah, as you can see, we have 4 devices now. If we go into keyboard.h, we have 5043. Yeah, so yeah, here's the new device. Oh yeah, so I kind of glossed over this, but this raw usage page and usage ID, make sure that this is the same for all of your devices, because the router is looking for devices that have this. Like for example, here there's actually a lot more things that could show up, but we're filtering your USB devices based on this usage page. So make sure none of your actual real USB devices are using this usage page, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. But yeah, right now we have 4 devices. So if we were to try and scroll, and then yeah, so yeah, I'm scrolling right now with the keyboard and with the Ploopy, basically. I can actually scroll with my other trackball as well, because this is a broadcast, so both of them are receiving the same thing. And if I were to increase the DPI, as you can see, the DPI increased on both of them actually. Because, yeah, again, it's a broadcast. So the reason why I did it like this, I could technically send it from the keyboard to one of the specific devices, but I did it this way because normally I would only have one trackball plugged in, so it'll be either one or the other, and I don't really want to, constantly change the IDs and whatnot. So that's why I created the broadcast, so that it broadcasts the same packet to every QMK device, and then the QMK device can deal with it. But yeah, it seems to work anyway. So yeah, I reset the thing to default, and both of them default at 900. So you can see the info from 901, 400, and then info from the Ploopy as well, 5043. So yeah, that's all working. Now I'm going to show you how to actually get this router working on the PC side. So over here, if you go into for Windows, you can either compile it yourself. You'll need to install this minj-w thingy. But it's kind of easier if you just download it. So if you go over to releases here at the top, you'll see V1 stable. Just get whatever the latest one is. I probably won't be updating this too much because it's kind of finished. It's, finished software. So download this exe, save it into your downloads folder. Next thing, what you want to do, oh shit. Okay, next thing that you want to do is, if you want to scroll back down to installing on Windows, you need to download another zip here. So click on this link. This is the HID API thingy. What you want to download is, you want to download this win.zip, save it to your downloads as well. Now then, open this stuff, and create a new folder called QMK router. And then inside the folder, move this thing and move the zip that you downloaded. Now that we're here, what you want to do is you want to just extract here. So there you have, you can delete the zip. And next thing is you want to go inside here. You want to go into x64 and you want to copy this HIDPI into here. And then you can delete this thing like so. Because this thing is required for the binary basically. I didn't want to ship it with my binary because you know, it belongs to another project. So this is why it is that way. Next, you can just double click on this thing. Now Windows is going to say it's a virus, but you can just say run anyway. And then it's going to open up in a terminal. Now by default, it doesn't log. But if I were to increase my DPI, as you can see, it will actually increase it like so. And if I were to set it to default, it will, you know, set it to default like so. So, you know, that's all good. Yeah, if you want to log it, here is my recommendation. You want to right click on this thing. Then you want to do create shortcut. And actually, I'm going to close my previous previous HID router. I think it was messing something up, but anyway, doesn't matter. Once you create the shortcut, you want to go into properties, and then it is inside here where you want to set your properties. So for example, if you do tackvv, click save. Wait, what? What's wrong with this thing? Oh yeah, don't delete the bracket here. So if you want tackvv, then if you were to run this again, you should see that now we have you know, more logging like we had before. So that's how that works. And another useful thing for Windows is, I think I put it somewhere here. Actually, yeah, it's actually in the running section. So you can see all the stuff that you can run. And for Windows, you want to put this thing here as well. So no refresh. This just means it won't refresh the devices. Now on Windows, the HID API has some weird like memory leaks when you refresh a device or when you start looking for new devices. So this just prevents you from looking for new devices, but it'll still work provided that you don't unplug anything. So yeah, that'll be fine. Now, another thing that you can do is you can list all of your devices. So if you open up in terminal, this is another way you can run it. And then if you were to do QMK exe and then show, this is going to get all of your devices. And this is where you want to make sure that the usage and the usage page for the rest of your devices doesn't match this. Now, I recommend doing that first and checking if any of your devices don't match it. This is because the broadcast will send data. So for example, as you can see, this is the my keyboard, tactile keyboard. And so that has the proper usage pages. But anyway, what I'm saying is this keyboard would send like a broadcast to every device which has this, and it might actually break your other devices which you know, might not support it. But yeah, so the easiest way to kind of find this thing is if you were to copy the output of this into some text editor like this thing, and then we can just do like a new file called test.txt, then just paste this in here, and then you want to just search for this thing and see how many times you can find it. So in our case, we have it 4 times, which is good because then, as you can see, we have 4 devices. So this is literally how it works. Yeah. Then we can delete this testing as well. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how it is. You can do pretty much whatever you want with this, provided you know a little bit. Well, I would say a bit more than a little bit of C coding. But yeah, so if you take a look at this HID packet, for example, we have a header. Don't change that. We have 2 VID, we have 2 PID. Don't change that as well. Now for the operation, this is this thing. So this is how many different kind of operations you have. You can add as many as you want. So for example, as you can see here, we have one just for testing. We have another one just for testing. We have this one for setting settings. We have this one for custom keys. And it should act like a key press. And then we have this one for the info. So we have seen examples of the 3 of these. Now you can add more for yourself if you want. Then here, this is just kind of whatever you want. You don't need to have this, but I just have it here anyway because it makes it easier for the code. So if I were to like search for this, for example, okay, so it looks like I don't actually use these. I thought I did. Oh yeah, I actually use these inside here. So inside these macros, yeah, you can see that I use them here, for example. And then here we have the raw HID client, which will be your, VID, PID, and then you can have, trackball, PC, and all that kind of stuff. And then you have some kind of custom functions that you can use to send and receive data here. So you don't really need to change these, but you can add your own if you want. And then here inside the actual implementation, if you scroll down, you actually see the functions. So this function you shouldn't need to change because it like pads everything pretty much. And yeah. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so this is pretty handy if you want to, send some data and stuff. So like, for example, like the best example for this is honestly my trackball that has no buttons. So if you want to change, the DPI and stuff like that, this is kind of the only way really that I found that works the best. Yeah, so that's why I made this router. So yeah, I mean, you'll probably get stuck if you aren't familiar with QMK. So send me, a message, and I'll try and help you out. And yeah, I'll upload this. Well, I'll update the repo for this so you guys can see how it actually looks like. And so yeah, thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye bye.